Minasan, okarinasai. I am sort of back from my little hiatus. Still pretty mentally drained, but I am 40 pounds lighter. Shoutouts to exercising. And as much as I hate recording, I really wanted to make another video. So today I will be going over the supporting bands in the BangDream franchise. Those being Afterglow, Hello Happy World, Pastel Palettes, and even Glitter Green. The structure of this may be a little different than the other bands I've covered, as this will have multiple groups in one video. For this one, I'll just do the quick band introductions, then I'll go into the yearly career recap with all of the bands at the same time, well aside from the first group I cover. And I was originally going to include the newest group, Mugendai Mu-Type, but they actually do full lives with everyone involved, so I wouldn't consider them supporting like these other ones. And I'm sure they will have a full season dedicated to them in the future, so I will wait and cover them then. So now let's get into it, starting with Glitter Green, and I'm just going to fully cover them outright as they're even more supporting than the other bands, actually having 4 members instead of the usual 5, and are canonically the first band in the series, giving us Hinako Nijiki on the drums, voiced by Sora Tokui, Nanana Wanibe on keyboard, portrayed by Miku Sasaki, Ri Uzawa on bass, played by Izumi Kita, and yes, it is Ri, not Rin, I had to double check that myself. Last up on vocals was Yuri Ishigome, portrayed by Suzuko Momori, in lore the older sister of Rimi, one of the original main characters. They only had 2 original songs, those being Don't Be Afraid and Glee Glee Glee. Short versions released in 2017, with the full release the following year, only having one cover, Ameagari no Mira, the opening theme for the PSP Milky Homes game, of which all 4 members of the band actually serve as the leads of that franchise as well, Tokui and Momori even being the leads in the original Love Live. For live performances, Momori was actually the only one of the band to actually perform live, twice I believe, at the Garupa Tokyo event in 2018 and Ras's Genesis Live in 2019. Fun fact about Ras, their entire existence stems from being a backup band for these groups that I'll be mentioning. Them being active so the lead singers could perform live as the other cast members could not play their instruments. So you'll be hearing me mention that band a few times as the video goes on. But let's get started with the big 3 now. All of these 3 bands have at least one of my top 10 favorite Seiyuu of all time in them. Some of them even have 2, so there's a lot of good star power here. Starting with Afterglow, a band made up of 5 childhood friends. Specifically, when the vocalist Ron moved into a different class in middle school, and the girls made a band so they could still see each other. Now in high school, they love playing in their band, practicing after school, and even playing live shows. Sugumi Hazawa is on keyboard, played by Hisako Kanemoto. Himari Uehara is the bass player and also the leader of the band, voiced by Emery Kato. Tomoe Uragawa is on drums, voiced by the legend Yoko Hikasa. Moka Alba is the lead guitarist, portrayed by Sachika Misawa, and then lead singer Ron Mitake, portrayed by Ayane Sakura, my personal favorite, literally in my top 5 of all time. Their music style is mostly alternative rock music, with some hints of pop rock mixed in there too. Next is Hello Happy World, probably my favorite of these 3 bands, this one having 2 of my top 5 favorite girls ever, those being Miku Ito, their leader and lead vocalist, who portrays Kokoro Surumaki, and then her best friend Moi Toyota, voicing Kanan Matsubara, the drummer. The other 3 members are also amazing honestly. We've got Azusa Tadokoro, voicing Karuseta, on the guitar, Yuri Yoshida, voicing Hagumi Kitazawa on bass, and then Tomio Kurosawa, voicing Misaki Okusawa, and her alter ego Michelle being the DJ. Their music style is orchestral marching band circus pop music, and honestly it's so good. Miku's voice is perfect for that style, and the whole theme of the band is based on the concept of making the world smile, them often performing at preschools and children's hospitals, making them very popular with the younglings. And then last up we have Pastel Palettes, the cutesy idol group, with some hints of synth and electro in their music. Them being formed by the talent agency Purely Promotion, and each having experience in different sides of the entertainment industry. Each of them joining to show their definition of an idol and what it is to be one, as idols don't traditionally play instruments, but instead they sing and dance. Originally the group was meant to pretend they were playing their instruments live as opposed to actually doing so, but after an unfortunate incident and the possible termination of the group, the girls began to practice and actually play live to continue their dream of being idols together. And honestly, that's a really good backstory. Their 5 ladies include Eve Wakamiya on guitar, voiced by Sawako Hata, drummer Maya Yamato, voiced by Ikumi Nakagami, Hina Hikawa on lead guitar, voiced by Ari Ozawa, then my 2 absolute favorites, well, the Seiyuu at least, Chisato Shirasagi on bass, played by the dangerous Sumire Uesaka, and lead vocalist, leader of the group, Aya Murayama, portrayed by the very sweet Ami Maeshima. Since I'm covering all 3 bands at once, I'll just mention the main single releases and not the coupling tracks, unless it's a banger of course. And now with that crazy introduction out of the way, let's get into the career. 2017 was the debut of the anime, giving us all characters from all 3 bands. Well, most, I think. I can't remember if all 15 characters showed up, but whichever did, it was mostly just brief cameos for now. Actually, just going forward, they make appearances in all 3 of the main seasons, both films and the Garupa Pico Chibi spin-offs. But again, mostly just cameos as they are supporting cast, having the most relevance in the 2nd season, I'd say. But also the Chibi spin-offs give each band their own short episodes, and I actually remember them being quite fun to watch. But anyway, still in 2017, this was the first single debuts, That Is How I Roll, Ega O no Orchestra, and Shuaren Dreamin'. All really good tracks, but Shuaren Dreamin' is one of my absolute favorites from Pastel Palettes. In 2018, early on, there was the Garupa Live in Tokyo event, 2 days having a mixture of all active bands at the time, including these 3, well, just the lead singers, with Reza Seiyuu, known as the 3rd at the time, playing the instruments. Also, as I said earlier, Momori, repping Glitter Green, was here as well. In the summer, RAS had their 2nd full show, where they actually debuted the name Reza Seiyuu, and Amita was there as a guest, repping Pastel Palettes. Then right at the end of the year was Bandori's 6th Live, RAS's section, Brave New World, having Miku as a special guest to sing some songs. Michelle the mascot also being there, but I really don't think Tomio was in the suit. As for singles, each group having their 2nd and 3rd released. Afterglow giving us Heyday Capriccio, love that song, with the other one being Sunaga Soromoyo. Pastel Palettes had Yoda Yoda Ring Dong Dance, great name, as well as Luminous Once More, another banger. Hello Happy World's 2 songs were Goka Gokai Phantom Thief, which is another awesome track in my opinion, but they also had Kimi ga Inukucha. Now in 2019, Bandori had their 7th live, RAS's section being Genesis, having Momori as a guest, as I said earlier, then naturally having Ami and Miku as guest vocalists as well. But then for some Afterglow representation, but not the main vocalist, instead the guitarist, Sachika Misawa, her even playing guitar on stage with the band. The only time we've ever seen her, unfortunately. Then in the summer, RAS again had their Heaven and Earth Live, amazing show by the way, Ami being their guest on day 1, and Miku on day 2. Sayotsuka was there as well, but this video isn't about her or her band. Then Miku again represented her group at Anisama on day 2, performing with RAS and Michelle. Though again, don't think Tomio was in the suit, despite actually performing on that day as well with Sound Euphonium, and actually Moishi was there too. Big missed opportunity, I think. Outside of my performances, the 3 bands had their 4th and 5th single releases, Yellow and On Your Mark for Afterglow, United A to Z and Q My Flower for Pastel, both amazing honestly. Then Hello Happy World had High Five Adventure, along with Ego Sing a Song, which is actually my favorite track of theirs. 2020, in the summer, Bandori had their special 3-day outdoor event as part of the 8th franchise live, having Amita with RAS on the final day, and apparently Sumipi was there for 1 song as well. But then they actually had some live shows without RAS, kind of. Pastel Palettes was up first very early in the year, mostly just having Ami sing with no band, but Ikumi and Sawako did appear as special guests in person, while Ari and Sumipi had a special video greeting. Like a week later was Afterglow's live event, more of a talk show than a live, though 2 songs were performed at the end. The event even having all 5 members of Afterglow present, but also Ari Ozawa from Pastel Palettes and Yuri Yoshida from Hello Happy World, and of course some Roselia and Pop and Party members as well. Finally, at the end of the year, Afterglow's 2-day sound-only live, titled As Ever, which I assume was exactly what it sounds like, no ladies present, but just the songs being played. Then with music, this is the last year for hard copy proper singles, the 6th and 7th from each group, Easy Come, Easy Go, and Sasankwa for Afterglow, Waku Waku Meets Trip and Yume Yume Graduation for Pastel Palettes, then Nico Nico Hyper Smile Power and Weekend Hooray for Hello Happy World. Those are some crazy titles. Moving on to 2021, Pastel Palettes had their 2-day sound-only live, Flowerful Day, and a few months later was Hello Happy World's 2-day sound-only show, Welcome to Our Music. These were all free by the way, and streamed to the franchise's official YouTube channel, but were not archived unfortunately and seem to have been deleted, though I'm sure a certain Chinese website has them for you. But in the summer, Pastel Palettes again had their 2nd full live, titled Dream, to go with their 1st album, titled Idol. Ami being the main act as always, but this time actually having all 4 other members as guests. Maeshima getting super emotional during the encore with everyone. It was nice to see. Is it weird to say it's nice to see her cry, even if they are tears of joy? Anyway, as I just teased, this year also gave us the first full albums from all 3 bands, Title Idol for Pastel Palettes, One of Us for Afterglow, and Nico Nico Necked for Hello Happy World. Really good title and pun for that last one there. In 2022, Bandori had their big special girls band party festival, originally scheduled for 2020, but you know what happened then. So now in 2022, we had everyone. Well, that was the original plan, but Ami had to cancel due to her year-long hiatus to recover her body. However, Ayane Sakura was finally at a live show, her first time since like 2018. It was absolutely lovely hearing her voice and seeing her perform live with Rosalia, with the orchestra ladies, Miku as always, but also Yuri Yoshida for the first time. She was super emotional, and I was really happy to see her. Overall, just a really amazing event, and really for the fans. No solo albums, but there was the BangDream Dreamer's Best, having 3 songs from every band, not just the ones I'm talking about in this video, which are all really good by the way. All the bands do amazing covers of really cool existing Japanese songs, usually any songs. But still with 2022, it was the year we started to get digital-only single releases, 2 from each group. Brand new Pastel World in collaboration with pop singer Zach, who wrote and composed the track, and they also had Run Tete. There was Kanayume and Dokoso Shusa from Afterglow. Their songs always have really fun titles to say, even if it does take me a few tries to get it right. Last up was Kira Tokimi Fest and Hello Happier Happiest from Hello Happy World. That last one being a collab song with Kenichi Mayamada, who you may know as the singer for the Nichijou anime openings. Some banger crazy songs over there, which really fits the Hello Happy World theme, and they even cover some more of his songs. Also going forward, if I don't show the album cover, it's just because it's generic and doesn't feature the girls at all on the cover, so I'm just putting filler pictures here instead. 2023 was Hello Happy World's first live, well, a mini live and talk event. Happy Lucky Smile Festival. Happy Lucky Smile being their catchphrase, by the way. All 5 members being present, but Tomio only for half of the show. So I guess she just had some other commandments as well. She is arguably the most active one in the group. Arguably. Miku is crazy, but she's also the headliner, so she had to be there for the whole time. With Afterglow, Sakura by herself repped the group as Ron at an event for the J-Rock group Flow. Her group even covering a track of theirs, so this was very fitting. Well, actually they cover it with Kokoro, so having Miku there would have been dope too. And I mean, it's Flow. They're like the J-Rock anti-song group. But anyway, there were the second albums for the 3 groups. Afterglow having Stay Glow, Hello Happy World's Smile on Parade, and Pastel's Pastel a la Mode. With digital singles, Hello Happy World only had 1, Kimi wo Let's Have Fun. Then Afterglow would have 3, Ignite Glow, Made My Day, and Punchline Halloween. All 3 releasing on the same day, and then a month later was Sansan. So I guess that was 4 songs. I don't know why I wrote 3 in the script. But Sansang was a collab with someone by the name of Jin. I have no idea who that is, and I could not find any details as it is a very generic name. And finally, nothing from Pastel Palettes, I assume because of Amita's hiatus, which would be ending very soon, as in 2024, Pastel Palettes were the only group to have an event titled Together, having all 5 members present, the big return of Ami. Well, actually, this was earlier this year of 2025. The wiki had the wrong year, and I honestly don't want to re-record, so yeah. Then the first mini albums for the groups, Iro Toridori for Pastel, Doshitate Carnival for Hello Happy World, and Wasare Renai Hibi no Koto for Afterglow. With the digital tracks, we had Sambaro Happy and Listen to Smile from Hello Happy World, Start As Usual for Afterglow, this being the only one for them, then Toridori Palettes, and The Story of You and Us from Pastel Palettes. 2025 seems like it should have been the 3rd albums, as the first 2 were 2 years apart each, but instead we only had EPs. The first one from Afterglow, titled Glow Goes On. Hello Happy World had It's a Smile World, and Pastel Palettes had Stage by Stage, even covering an Afterglow song, that being YOLO. That's actually really cool. Seems like they're testing the waters with the groups covering other groups' tracks, and I'm looking forward to the future of whatever that brings, especially when it's bands that are complete opposites like Pastel and Afterglow. Oh, almost forgot, Hello Happy World had the song Starring Myself, which was an ending theme for the ongoing Vanguard series. And now for 2026, at the end of February, will be the Big Bang Dream 10th Anniversary Live, which, if everything goes well, will give us all of the full live bands along with the lead singers for these 3 supporting groups, and hopefully some other guests too, but nothing has been officially announced yet. Now, before the ridiculously long facts section, I'm going to give you some song recommendations. The top songs will be the originals, while the bottoms are covers and where they are originally from. The blue font is Pastel Palettes, the yellow is Hello Happy World, and the red is Afterglow. I figured just showing you is a lot easier and a lot simpler than me saying it out loud. But I also want to say all 3 bands have instrumental only albums and have many other songs featured on the Bandori covers albums. Usually 2 per album, having 9 albums total. Surprisingly none for this year, but I'm sure Volume 10 is just around the corner. The lead singers have also been featured in songs together without their bands. Well, actually, most members of all bands have been split up for one-time songs. But when it comes to colors, Hello Happy World has some amazing ones, the best out of the 3. So picking just 5 was very difficult. Honestly, Pastel's covers are very great too. Not saying Afterglow's aren't, but like the other groups, I just like more, I guess. Even the original versions of some of my favorite Annie songs, so. And yes, all of them cover K-On! Music. I strongly recommend all of the Bandori covers albums, which should be found easily on your local music app or even just on YouTube. So last up is the fun facts about the bands for both Seiyuu and characters. I'll try to keep it simple and not get too deep, but I'll give you enough information to get a feel for the characters and the voice actors. Just a quick collective fact. Hina from Pastel Palettes is the twin sister of Roselia's Seiyuu, which are both on guitar mind you, and then Afterglow's Tomoe is the 1-year elder sister of Roselia's Akko, both on drums. Also now just realizing that both sisters come from Roselia. What a super fun fact. Now let's move on to Hello Happy World. Yuri is the eldest, Miku is the youngest, though her and Tomio are the same age. Tomio just being born a few months earlier, also being the shortest, while Azusa is the tallest. Then Moishi is middle for her height and age. Crazy how all of that worked out, I got to mention all 5 of them. Moishi, Miku, and Tomio all being O blood type, while Moishi and Azusa are both from Ibaraki. Then Moi-chan again and Miku are both in the Style Cube agency. As for outside of the franchise, well, I'll cover all of that together after this section. With the characters, Kaoru is the tallest by a lot, like 13 centimeters. Hagumi is the shortest. Kanan is the middle in terms of height, but the eldest member. Hagumi is the middle child for age, and Misaki is the youngest. As always, the last names are based off landmarks or locations, in this case all being areas in Setagawa City within Tokyo. Kokoro has the yellow image color, is one of the few characters to refer to everyone else by their first names and not using any honorifics. In a franchise with so many characters and so many personalities, Kokoro always stands out as arguably the most energetic and easily the most athletic. Doing some crazy flips on stage while singing. Would have been really cool to see Miku do this stuff, but honestly that requires a lot of training and is very dangerous. Oh, and there's also a fan theory that Kokoro is secretly a genius and just doesn't realize it, due to her ability to learn things basically instantly. Kanan has a light blue image color, has a terrible sense of direction, and has a hard time on public transportation. But she is a very talented artist. I'm not sure if it's said who makes her costumes, but I'm sure it's her. She is also the only person who couldn't fully play her instrument prior to forming the band. And like the next girlie, she has her own little catchphrase. Well, it's more of a noise. Her Seiyuu is just perfect, man. I literally could just sit here and talk about her forever. So let's move on to Kaoru, who has the purple color. Prior to her graduation, she was one of the most popular girls at her high school, also being the only member of the band at that high school. She is gifted at many sports, as well as being a talented and well-respected actress. And then, of course, there is her very well-known catchphrase of Hakanai. 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 Misaki loves coffee and tennis. She nicknamed her teammates Kaoru, Hagumi, and Kokoro as the 3 idiots, which is funny that Kanan is not included as she is actually the ditzy one, but she is too sweet to be mean to. Misaki actually being one of the only characters to have her image color change, originally being a red-violet, but now it's teal. Well, it's labeled as that anyway, it looks more like a deep blue to me. Then Michelle has a magenta color and serves as their mascot. Kokoro actually not knowing that it's Misaki in there. Also, even though she is clearly a bear, other characters have mistaken her for a dog or a lion. Last up is Hagumi with the orange color. She did have music experience before the band, though on the regular guitar, which then led to her wanting to play the bass, I assume to try something new. She is the captain of the local softball team. She is bad at studying. Her family owns a meat shop, and she is actually childhood friends with Kasumi, the main character of the series. Well, at one point she was at least. They seem to have started to shift into a new generation lately. Next up is Pastel Palettes. For the Seiyuu, Ikumi is the eldest, and one of the eldest in the whole franchise, along with Emiri Kato. Sumire is the middle child, and Ami is the youngest. Though Ami is the tallest, Sumipi again in the middle, while Ari is the shortest. Sumipi, Ari, and Ikumi are all blood type O. While Ami and Sumipi are both Sagittarius, they are actually born in different months. All of the girls are currently in different agencies, and then Ari and Ikumi are the only ones from the same prefecture, that being Tokyo. With the characters, Eve is the tallest, Chisato is the smallest, then both Hina and Aya are 5 centimeters smaller than Maya. Eve is the youngest, actually being the only one a grade under the other 4, and then Chisato is the eldest. A nice contrast there, having the smallest as the oldest and the tallest as the youngest. Also just want to say in universe, these girls are so popular that their songs are even available in karaoke. In the recent Ave Musica season, one of the girls was actually singing a Pastel Palace track. Oh, and naturally all of the image colors are the pastel versions of their respective color. So for Aya, we have Pastel Pink, very fitting. She loves the spring season, constantly updates her blog, and always carries around a selfie stick. Despite being such a hard worker, she is actually very clumsy and has a hard time studying. But she is very skilled at making guidebooks, even one time making a job manual for Kanan when she first started work at the fast food restaurant for a part-time job. And naturally, Aya dislikes horror and scary things. Hina has a nice bright pastel blue color. According to the wiki, she had a cameo appearance in the very first episode, but actually had brown hair. I originally thought this was just a brown-haired girl at the bottom right here, but upon further inspection, it does look like the same style, and the eyes look the exact same, so someone messed up here. Or maybe she just wasn't fully developed yet. Anyway, she is apparently a natural genius with an impeccable memory, also enjoying volleyball. She likes to attend Rosalia concerts to support her sister, but when her sister found out, she told Hina not to come anymore, thus having her go into disguise while attending. So maybe that's why she had brown hair in the first episode. She was hiding, even if that was a glitter green show, not a Rosalia one. Eve is the lavender color lady. Apparently she gets up at 4 a.m. every day, owns many different wooden swords, and her icon on the messaging app is a sword. Naturally, this means she is part of the Kendo Club, and apparently she is Finnish, even being dubbed as a samurai from Europe. Despite this warrior persona, she is scared of horror stories. I guess if a ghost tried to square up, she would probably run away. With Chisato, her color is a bright yellow, very fitting since she owns a golden retriever. She is bad at train schedules and drawing, is afraid of bugs and frogs, but enjoys shopping and visiting cafes, loving food, even having experience in reporting on food. Loving all types of foods, even the super spicy stuff. Last up is Maya, the tomboy with a lime green image color. Being the only member of the band to actually have instrument experience prior to the group forming. She is scared of heights, loves cats, but dislikes dogs. Same. No offense to the dog lovers, but I was attacked when I was a kid, and that shit scarred me. Like literally, there's a scar on the back of my ear. But anyway, Maya enjoys playing carnival games and is especially skilled at the shooting gallery. Finally, she has the habit of going into tight spaces and finds being in them comfortable and calming. I'm sure that sounds absolutely terrifying to some people. Now for Afterglow, with the Seiyuu, Kato is the eldest, Sakura being the youngest, with Kanemoto being in the middle. Sachika is the tallest, which I did not expect, and Kato is the shortest, which I did expect. Then technically no middle height gal, as Hisako and Ayane are both 2 centimeters taller than Yoko. The only two from the same prefecture are Sakura and Kato, both from Tokyo but different areas, Fusa for Kato and Ebisu for Sakura. Then the girls have all switched agencies a lot over their careers, but I don't think they've ever belonged to the same one. Sachika and Yoko have the same O blood type, while the other 3 are type B. Sakura and Sachika are both born in the month of January, but 16 days apart, them actually being different zodiacs. While the opposite is with Hisako and Emily. They're both Sagittarius, but they're born in different months. Now, when it comes to the characters, Ron is the eldest, but only older than Tomio by 5 days, while Mocha is the middle child and Tsugumi is the youngest. Tomio towers over all the other girls, while they are each 1 centimeter apart, with Himari technically being the shortest and Ron being the middle. They are the only group within these 3 that I'm talking about to have all members go to the same school. And I think overall, just in general, Popipa and Morphonica are the only other ones to do so as well. Also pretty sure this band is the only of the 3 to not have anyone graduate during the big graduation event last year. Oh, and then their family names all come from areas within Shibuya. As for the girlies themselves, Ron has the red color, plays rhythm guitar, as well as being the lead vocalist, just like the main character of the series, Kasumi. And despite the god-tier vocals, shoutouts to her Seiyuu, Ron is actually a very quiet person. Also having a bad habit of reading messages and just not replying to them or giving one-word replies. And not too much else to say about her though, other than the fact that she's afraid of ghosts. That's very cute. Mocha has a cyan or teal color, also has a very sleepy demeanor. She can even fall asleep while standing, which sounds very dangerous. She often refers to herself in third person, and honestly, she's just one of us, preferring to wear big sweaters because they're comfy, has a completely messy bag with no order to it, and she loves shonen manga, loving the in-universe version of Detective Conan, though obviously they can't reference it by name. Himari has the pink color, and as I said earlier, she's actually the leader instead of the lead vocalist, Ras being the only other group not to have the lead vocals as the leader. Actually, now that I think about it, I think Morphonica is the same as well. But anyway, Himari works at a fast food restaurant, but tries not to indulge as she gains weight easily, often being teased by Mocha, who doesn't gain weight no matter what she eats. Last for her particular 1974 bass is no longer produced by Fender, making hers a rare item. Sugumi has a yellow color, is currently the student council president. Nice. She loves dolphins and is afraid of thunder. Like Mocha, is one of us, staying up late to listen to music and to read manga. She is the only member of her group to refer to the others with the Chan honorific, and she is one of the band members who already had plenty of experience with her instrument, 7 or so years on the piano. Last up is Tomoe, also having a red color, but hers is more of like a dark magenta-ish. She used to work part-time at a fast food place with Himari, and like Haru, she is one of the most popular girls at their high school, both being the very masculine type that the other girls really like. She loves reading and collecting photo books about landscapes and different spots all around the world, so she's a geography nerd. Same here, bro. Her also having prior experience with her instrument prior to the band forming, as she has been a drummer for local taiko festivals for over a decade. Then her physical appearance is a direct opposite of her sisters, Ako being the shortest member of her band, having a cold-colored hair and warm-colored eyes, and even in general her eyes are much taller rather than wide. And Tomoe is the complete opposite, the tallest of her band, warm-colored hair, cold-colored eyes, and her eyes are more wide rather than tall. Now for the final section covering what the girls do outside of BangDream. A few of these girls are in the Idolmaster series, but in different generations. We've actually got 3 of the Hello Happy World girls, Miku and Azusa both in Million Live, while Kurosawa along with Pastel Palettes Uesaka are part of Cinderella Girls, while Afterglow's Hikasa and Misawa are both in Pretty Derby, along with Azusa and Uesaka again. Amita used to be a performer in D for DJ, but had to give up that role due to too much work. Sawako used to be a traditional idol in SKE48, but she stopped that in 2013 after about 4 years with them. Miku and Maeshima used to be in a 4-girl unit known as Stylips. Now they are technically still a duo unit known as Pixis. Kato used to be in a duo Seiyuu unit known as Kato Fuku for about 3 years. I'll also actually mention Moishi and Kurosawa being in the Hibike series where they also do live performances. Then basically everyone I just mentioned aside from Moishi have some sort of solo singing career. Miku and Simupi being some of my favorite performers, as I've said many times, but Azusa and Ami's new career are pretty damn good too. Then Emily, Sachika, and Yoko haven't really released anything in many years. They seem to be more focused on other things. There may be some other things I'm missing, but yeah, that's the big stuff. Some more quick fun things though. Ikumi from Pastel Palettes was actually an illustrator for the Girls und Panzer comic, which then became another music show with cute girls, but also with tanks. And the last thing I want to mention is all the awards these girls have. As you can see here, Sakura and Uesaka both have 2, while Kato has 3, and Hikasa only recently got her first one. Big shame that Miku and Azusa haven't won anything yet. I guess also because I don't know where else to put it, all of these bands have at least 1 married woman. Pastel Palette's actually having 3. And yeah, I'll just end this here. I'm assuming this video is going to be quite long and will most likely take a long time to make. Honestly, even longer due to the burnout I experienced, so I'm sorry about that. But I've learned to just take my time with these. There's no need to rush or commit to a schedule, especially not right now. But if you stuck through this, then I thank you. These bands are all great, awesome music and vocals, but I feel a lot of people will overlook them or they don't even know they exist. So hopefully I've convinced you to check them out if you haven't already. I also hope you've enjoyed and learned something new. If so, then please do leave a like, and for sure join me in the next one, which will most likely be the first of my yearly recap videos for the franchises and all the girls within them. As always, I look forward to seeing you there.